This is going to be a pretty long video. I don't know if you're going to stick with it right to the end, but let's see how we go. Look, I've been recording a lot of video for years and never bothered putting any narration on it. And I've never done split screen before. Today's first. I thought I had to buy like a $50 plugin to do split screen with this software, and discovered I could have been doing it for a couple of years if I'd actually read the instructions. So what I was doing here is having a look at when I leave work and head home, how long it actually takes to get out of the CBD. And I take a fairly roundabout route coming out, and it's about 5 kilometres before I hit the getting near the Piermont Bridge. So this is really just what it's like getting out of town at 3:45 in the afternoon before peak hour. As you can see, the traffic's moving pretty well. It's not bunched up. It's not gridlocked or anything like that. But it's not moving, is it? And we spend a lot of time sitting at red lights. So I've sped up all the waiting time because it's a bit boring. We'll just see what it's like moving. Well, I mean, if you've lived in a city, any city, and driven around, you're probably well used to this, but maybe you've never thought about it before, is just how long it takes to get anywhere in any form of traffic once it builds up a little bit. And here comes a aggro ute driver on the right, turning left from a lane where you're not supposed to turn left. Yeah, he's in a real hurry, but as we're going to see in a minute, he doesn't really get anywhere. And I'm just rolling along at 25-30 kilometers an hour, and the only difference really between me and these cars is these cars can take off faster. They can obviously get up to speed faster, but all it means is they spend more time waiting at a red light. I mean, I had a 10-second wait at that red light, and the ute had about a 30-second wait. So off we go again. Traffic is merging a bit here because there's people that don't want to turn right here. They want to get into the middle lane where I am. You can see the car behind me is doing it. The ute up front barged in front of a taxi to push in. I'm freewheeling because the traffic is just not moving that fast, and it's pretty sparse. You can see it's not really banked up heavily in front of us, but it's 3 lanes gone into one, past the hotel, and oh look, there's another red light. And there's our taxi sitting there on the left, waiting at the red light. He gets a 30-second wait, and I only have to wait 15 seconds for these lights. And on we go again. Now, in total, you probably don't want to wait for the end, but it took me 20 minutes to get to the edge of the CBD going this way, and I spent a total of 5 minutes and 10 seconds standing still at red lights. I guess if you're in a car, you would spend even more time. Probably would have spent 7 or 8 minutes, simply because you'd get to the red lights faster than I can get there on a bike. Here we go, we're stuck behind a bus. We're going to turn left here. It takes a little bit longer on this corner because there's going to be pedestrians crossing the road we've got to wait for. Can't remember how long that wait was for, but as you can see, we've got a red arrow. Oh no, off we go. And because I'm a bit smaller and manoeuvrable, I can just slip through the pedestrians there rather than waiting behind like you can see the cars behind me have to. Doesn't really help though, because all I do is roll slowly down the hill to the next red light. And it's a pretty short way here because, well, I don't know why, but anyway, we zip down Bridge Street, we get a green light, that's nice, we get another green light. But I never ever get a red light, a green light up the top of the hill here at George Street. The lights are just not that well synchronized. See him slowing right down, hoping I'm not going to get collected by that car coming from the left. Through he goes, up a bit of an incline, it's not much. Zooming along nicely, and no. Stop accelerating, on the brakes. And we'll wait for another, I think it's a fairly long one, it's about 75 seconds I think. You have to wait here. And, yeah. One of the reasons I'm taking this very roundabout route is, of course, they've closed off George Street for the light rail works. Normally I'll just go straight down George Street to the Rocks, but I have to loop around the back of the city, in order to get down here. It's a 20k section, so it's like you're zipping through anyway. Green light, that's good. You can see the road's rough as guts. I'm on a mountain bike here. One reason I'm on the mountain bike is because on a road bike you get the absolute living daylights beaten out of you because of the horrible road surface. And it was rolling up to a red light. No point in fanging up to it flat out because, well, what's the point? You're just going to sit there and wait for a bit longer. Yeah, got a green light. Hey, what's a cyclist doing zipping around the bus? It's a bit silly. Anyway, another crummy road surface, but here we are in the rocks. Lots of pedestrians. It's a 40k zone. It's going to be, 2-3 pedestrian crossings I've got to go across. Slowing down here. Yeah, there's a bunch of pedestrians that want to cross. Just slip between the pedestrians. There's enough of a gap there. You just have to watch out around here because there's although there's a couple of pedestrian crossings, tourists of course, come off the boats, whatever, they just cross wherever they like a lot of the time. Slow right down again, so I don't have to unclip if I can help it. And yeah, it's like 3 bands worth of beetles crossing the road. Oh look, lots of tourists looking at their phones, not paying attention to where they're going. Off we go again. We've got another pedestrian crossing coming up. And these are all raised pedestrian crossings, so I mean I can zip across them pretty quickly, but cars obviously have to slow down so they don't rip their spoilers off. And we're going to turn right and go down under the harbour bridge. Why am I going this way? Because it's nice. I like riding around the rocks. Oh look, another pedestrian crossing. I just like coming this way because the view's nice, not a lot of traffic most of the time. Get to ride around the harbour. And it adds about another 4 kilometres to my trip home. You might be thinking that's a bit weird. Why would you actually want to take a longer route home when you're commuting? Well, I want to do a bit more exercise. If I can turn my 40-minute commute into a 60-minute commute, get a bit more time on the bike, I mean, that's good. It's more exercise the better. Hour on the way in, hour on the way home. It's good 2 hours a day. Plenty of exercise. So there's the Opera House on the right. Can't really see it. Yeah, oh look, there's a harbour bridge. Now these lights here are a bit funny. I've got to kind of do a bit of a snaky to activate the lights. They're really terrible at detecting bikes, so you snake back and forth across the road, and it helps the induction loops pick up the bike. And almost no weight, but you can see I almost had to slow to a complete halt there. Couldn't just go ripping through. So we're going to go under the bridge, obviously, round past Barangaroo. In the mornings, when I'm coming back the other way, I actually ride through Barangaroo and around the on the harbour, up a bit of a hill. This is all over on the right-hand side. I don't bother doing it on the way home because it's a bit of a pain to cross the road and get over there. But and you see there's absolutely no traffic, nothing to hold me up. I'm not holding anyone else up. Just drift over into the bike lane on the left, which is almost completely faded away. Coming up to the roundabout, so normally you can be tonking along here at about 30 kilometres an hour. It's quite good. That's actually double the average speed for my entire journey through from leaving the office to getting to the Piedmont Bridge. It was 5 kilometres, took me 20 minutes. Now obviously I've speeded up a couple of bits here where I'm sitting at the lights because it's pretty boring. Makes the clip only about 14 minutes long, but without those speeded up bits and a couple of bits I've chopped out, it's 20-21 minutes. So again, we're just rolling along the bike lane, 25-30 kilometres an hour, good little clip, zero traffic, almost no pedestrians, no one opening doors on me. It's nice. Beautiful afternoon. It's about 18 degrees. Crisp winter's day. It's absolutely beautiful. And there's a lot of construction work going on up ahead here. Barangaroo Phase 2, Phase 3, whatever it is. And this time of the day, the construction workers are packing up and they are putting all their machinery into storage for the evening, I think. And so they've closed off the road. There's a lollipop guy up ahead of us. And we sit here and wait for an hour and 15, what am I saying? A minute and 15 seconds. Just sitting there, watching an excavator drive in. You can see it there on the left, you can hear it clanking around, and then off we go again. Now of course it's not particularly fast through here. They don't want people driving through quickly, so there's a whole series of speed humps. There's a, I think that's a service bump they've got there. They've obviously chopped the road up for fiddling with pipes or something. There's a very nasty speed hump there, and a lot of cars slow down to almost nothing to go over it because it's a vicious speed hump. Doesn't slow me down. I mean, I just zip over on the mountain bike. But yeah, cars are constantly going to an absolute crawl, and it's like, oh, for crying out loud, get out of the way. Another vicious little speed hump. Then he accelerates off, but he's going to have to slow down in a minute because there's another little vicious speed hump right up ahead with a pedestrian crossing. Normally there's workers coming out of Barangaroo crossing over here. You've got to stop and wait for a bit. You can see the car that jumped quite a bit to get over that. And he zooms off again, and there's another speed hump, and oh, for crying out loud, mate, just get out of my way. And oh, we slow down again. Oh my goodness, these bloody cars. So single lane through here. What is it, a 40k speed limit? Yeah, now again, you can see the car's zipped off, but no, he's slowing down again because there's another speed hump. So I can, and yeah, I've got to brake and brake and brake. So if there were no cars here, I could zip through quite happily, keeping a fairly high average speed. Obviously I can't go as fast as the cars, as their top speed, but because the speed humps don't slow me down, I can actually get through faster. I know that sounds really weird, but it's because I don't have to slow down. I can just keep a high average speed rather than going really, really slow, crawling over the speed hump, then putting my foot down and fanging it, then slowing down again, then jamming on the accelerator and zooming off again, and then slowing right down again. It's just, no, just keep a smooth, constant speed. Where are we? It used to be Shakespeare's pub on the left there, I think. Again, lots of construction through here. Road's pretty hacked up, it's pretty rough. But we're coming up towards the slip-in. Of course, another red light up in front of us. We're going to sit there and wait for a while. I think all up so far the wait's been well over 4.5 minutes sitting at red lights or construction zones. Lost my video. Looks like I'm not that good at video editing after all. Oh no, it's back again. Don't ask me what the hell's happened there. Well, it's my first time. Got to learn somewhere. And yeah, just up ahead here, I'll turn off, get onto the Piedmont Bridge. Won't see another car for about at least another 5 kilometres. But yeah, there you have it. You can just see how much time gets lost. That's 25% of my time was spent sitting at a red light.